Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu. This is the verse for Radha Kund, Pranam Mantra. You can chant. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu. Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha. Sarvagopishu Saivaika. Vishnoratyanta Vallabha. Vishnoratyanta Vallabha. Second verse is from Vilap Kusumanjali, the prayer of Raghunath Das Goswami to Radha Rani, but I apply this verse to Radha Kund because I feel Radha Kund is more accessible to me than even Radha Rani. So we will chant this verse. Tavaivasmi, Tavaivasmi. Tavaivasmi, Tavaivasmi. Na jivami tvaya vina. Na jivami tvaya vina. Iti vigyaya devitvam. Iti vigyaya devitvam. Nayamam charanantikam. Nayamam charanantikam. O Radha Kund, I am yours, I am yours. Tavaivasmi, Tavaivasmi. Asmi means me and Tava means you. Tavai means yours. I am yours. And I cannot live without you. I cannot live without serving you. Na jivami tvaya vina. My whole life is zero. It's a nightmare without you. Iti vigyaya devitvam. Knowing this, oh Radha Kund, please know, you are as omnipotent as Radha Rani. You are Radha Rani herself. The local Brajavasis call Radha Kund as Radha Rani only. They don't think of it as a kund or water. They say Radha Rani. Oh Radha Rani, please know, iti vigyaya. Raghunath Das Goswami was feeling so much separation from Radha Rani that he is informing Radha Rani that iti vigyaya devitvam. Know this, that I am yours and I am yours. Even if you want to leave me, I will not leave you. Because I am yours. Nayamam charanantikam. And knowing this, please always keep me at your lotus feet. So, if we apply this to Radha Kund, it means let me always take bath in Radha Kund. Taking bath in Radha Kund is like being under the lotus feet of Radha Rani. Nayamam charanantikam. Radha Kund also has form. So, taking bath in Radha Kund is like being under her shelter, being under her mercy. So, it's a very dear verse for me because I want to live in Radha Kund and die in Radha Kund, so that at least I will attain Radha Kund after death. Today I have written an article some time back about the 7 glories of Radha Kund. Some nice 7 quotations I got from our different acharyas. So today we'll discuss them one by one. I will read the original quotes first and then I'll try to explain my realization. First verse is from Rup Goswami. First quotation in Updeshamrit, verse 10. This is a little translation to the verse 10 done by Prabhupada. Who then will not reside at Radha Kund and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, aprakrit bhav, render loving service to the divine couple Shri Shri Radha Govinda who perform their Ashtakaliya Leela. Their eternal eightfold pastimes. So this is the first line of this Yatra Sevaki Kona Kaha. Rup Goswami says, who will not serve this Radha Kund? Because by serving Radha Kund we become surcharged. Our aprakrit deha becomes manifested. We become surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings. I have a realization that in Radha Kund you just have to stay here. You don't have to do too much. Anything. Just eating in Radha Kund, sleeping in Radha Kund, staying in Radha Kund. It's so powerful. It itself is the greatest form of devotional service. We will see here that. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. I think this is Prabhupada's special translation. Prabhupada has described. Mataji, you can come this side. They are coming. Shall we continue? No? Yes. No problem. So, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in this universe. Because even the Nitya Siddhas execute devotional service here. So even we are Nitya Baddhas, we are not technically Nitya Baddhas, but we are Baddha Muktas. There is a category between Nitya Baddhas and Sadhanan Siddhas. There is a category known as Baddha Muktas. Baddha Muktas means those who are conditioned but they are trying to come out of this situation and trying to become Siddha. So for those who are aspiring to become Siddha, devotional service in Radha Kund is the highest form of devotional service, because in my own personal realization, I cannot see my own Swarup more clearly in any other place, in any other dham than in Radha Kund. I don't know why, maybe because I being a preacher of Nitai Gaura, I should be more attracted to Mayapur Dham or Navdeep Dham because I am preaching Nitai Gaur Bhakti and Nitai Gaur Naam and everywhere. But somehow I went to Mayapur, I felt Gauranga Mahaprabhu is sending me to Radha Kund. Go to Radha Kund. Don't know why. I think, but I can see is that there are 3 kinds of devotees, Krishnavadis, Gauravadis and Gaur Krishnavadis. According to Jaiva Dharma, some are very attracted to Krishna, some are very attracted to Gauranga, and some are equally attracted to both. Like in Gauranga's Leela, Narhari Sarkar is an example of a Gauravadi, Madhumati. He is saying, Gauranga dharma, Gauranga karama, Gaurange moro jivanero jivano. Gauranga galero mala, Gauranga akhero tara, Gauranga vedero dharma. Gauranga is everything for him. In fact, he used to worship a special deity of Gauranga known as Natua Gauranga. There are only 3 deities in the whole world. One deity is in Ekachakra. In the temple on the left hand side, they have that Natua Gauranga in a special dancing pose. It's like Gaur Hari. So even though I can say that I am a Gaurvadi, but still, I mean, not in the sense of the Nitya Siddhas, but I mean, I feel more attracted towards Gauranga. But still, the more I get attracted to Gauranga, the more my attraction for Radha Kund increases. Surprising. The only thing I can correlate is the verse from Chaitanya Chandramrita. Yatha yatha gaur padara vinda vindeta bhaktim krita punya rashi. Tatha tathotsarpati hriday akasmad radha padam bhoj sudham burashi. The secret of not only seeing Radharani's lotus feet in one's heart, but to capture Radharani's lotus feet in one's heart is to fully become a honeybee drinking a nectar of the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu in one's heart. It's like this verse is like an exponential thing. It's like, what do you call that? Proportional. To that proportion, you are attracted to Gauranga Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. To that proportion, you will see Radharani's lotus feet in your heart. So for me, of all the Leelas of, because I am attracted to Gauranga Mahaprabhu as well as to Radha Kund. So for me, the highest Leela of Gauranga Mahaprabhu in all his Leelas is 1515. Some devotees say he came here in 1514. It's a matter of discussion which year exactly he came to Radha Kund. But that year, that time, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu discovered Radha Kund, Sham Kund, it is the most important Leela for me. Because for me, I get both of them in that same Leela. I get Gaur Hari also and I get Radha Kund also. And in Bhaktiratna, this Leela is described that when Mahaprabhu was sitting under the tamal tree, that there is some golden effulgence which came from Mahaprabhu's body and it entered into both the kundas. They were very small kundas. And the golden effulgence entered into the kundas and the kundas became Jagrat. No, already they are Jagrut. I mean, they are the Nitya sthans of Radha and Krishna Leela. But by Gauranga Mahaprabhu's coming again, the kundas got life. Because Krishna came again after 4,500 years back to Vrindavan, back to Radha Kund as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, Radha Kund and Sham Kund, they were themselves feeling separation from Radha and Krishna. So Radha Kund, Sham Kund were becoming smaller and smaller and smaller in their separation. And there was no purpose or no reason for them to manifest again in this world. Because Gauranga Mahaprabhu came and because Mahaprabhu wanted to send his associates, the 6 Goswamis, to Radha Kund. I mean, he wanted the Manjaris, his associates, he brought them from the Nitya Leela, but he has to give them some place to do bhajan also, where they can stay and do bhajan. That is why he manifested Radha Kund. Paritranaya Sadhu Nam Vinashaya. The first purpose of the Lord is to give happiness to his devotees. So he manifested Radha Kund first for his Goswamis. And then for the common people. The common people will get benefit of Radha Kund, Sham Kund. But Radha Kund and Sham Kund, the sequence is perfect. Means Gaur Hari came, then the Goswamis came, and then all the souls, the Jivas came to get the mercy of Radha Kund and Sham Kund. And that also, Gauranga Mahaprabhu trained Raghunath Das Goswami in Jagannath Puri under the tutelage of Sarup Damodar Goswami, and then he being the Prayojan Acharya, the Acharya of Prema, Radha Gopinath, the topmost Acharya among all the Acharyas, he was sent to take care of Radha Kund. The Seva of Radha Kund, the commander-in-chief of Radha Kund, his Seva was given to Raghunath Das Goswami because he is the Prayojan Acharya, the Prema Acharya. That's why you will see that when you do Vrindavan Parikrama, you will come to Madan Mohan first, then Govind Dev, then Gopinath. Govind Dev is a little far, but you will come to Madan Mohan first. You start with Sambandha Gyan, but when you do Parikrama of Radha Kund, you will come to Gopinath first. You get Prem first here. Because the Prema Bhakti, the Acharya Raghunath Das, he came here to give Prem. And just because of his thought, Radha Kund became bigger. Because Raghunath Das Goswami's bhajan thought about it, and that merchant came to Badrinath, and he offered a lot of gold, and Badrinath said, I don't want, take it to Raghunath Das Goswami in Radha Kund. And Jeev Goswami purchased the first land in Radha Kund. Before that, Rup Goswami came and he was doing bhajan in this Imli Tala here. Imli Tala is just before, it is between Nityanand Prabhu's Baithak and the Sangam, this Madan Mohan temple. It's between there is one Brajvasi's house. In that house you will find this Imli Tala. Tamarind tree. Just like in Vrindavan there is only one Imlika tree. In Radha Kund also there was only one tamarind tree under which Rup Goswami did bhajan. In fact, he saw the vision of the Julan Leela in the Shringar Julan Ghat, which takes place in Radha Kund. And it is Sanatan Goswami, that's how when he came to meet Rup Goswami, he was walking from the Sangam, he was walking on the Govind Ghat, and at that time he saw Radharani on that swing. You must be knowing that Leela of that snake, cobra. Rup Goswami wrote that there is a cobra, Radharani's hair is like a cobra. So Sanatan Goswami got a doubt. So when he came down in the Sangam and he was walking on the Govind Ghat, he saw Radharani on the swing. This side Govind Ghat is a smaller jula, that side Julan Ghat is a bigger jula. 1000 petal jula in Govind Lilamrit. It is described. So, saying, yeah, I mean, I'm discussing this quotations, otherwise we'll. Indeed, Prabhupada says, indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund, on the banks of Radha Kund means the kunjas, the Ashtasakhis kunjas are touching the banks of Radha Kund. So we have to execute, because we cannot stay 24 hours on the banks of Radha Kund, but we can stay near the banks of Radha Kund. So it's are the most fortunate people in the universe. जो लोग राधा कुंड में रह के भजन करते हैं वो ब्रह्मांड में सबसे भाग्यवान जीव रूप गोस्वामी के. The second quotation will come. This is Prabhupada's commentary to verse 9 in Updeshamrit. Srila Rup Goswami has given much stress to Radha Kund because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire to find it. Who then would give up Radha Kund and try to reside elsewhere? Amiya. Who then will give up Radha Kund and try to reside elsewhere? See, Prabhupada is directly instructing you. No person with transcendental intelligence would do so. No person with transcendental intelligence By staying in Radha Kund, one's intelligence becomes transcendental. And when one's intelligence becomes transcendental, then will never desire to leave Radha Kund, even for a moment. Raghunath Das Goswami had that vow, he would never leave Radha Kund. जो राधा कुंड में रहने से जिनकी बुद्धि दिव्य बन जाती है, वो राधा कुंड को कभी नहीं छोड़ते हैं, वो हमेशा राधा कुंड में रहते हैं. Now Prabhupada, the third, each quote is very significant, so I have divided them into 7 parts. The third quotation is Prabhupada's commentary in Updeshamrit, verse 10. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radha Kund. Means it is a goal. Ultimately, everybody who wants to practice Krishna, he has to come to Radha Kund and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. Only one life we have to take a vow of doing bhakti in Radha Kund, and in return what we will get is incomparable, unimaginable. निज कुंज पाए वहां युगल सेवा तारो होए, निज सिद्ध देह पाए सखीरो आश्रय. Just by rendering devotional service in Radha Kund throughout our life, we will get our own kunja here. Every manjari has her own kunja. And Sakhira Ashray, this is the best place to get the shelter of the Sakhis, because this is the place where all Ashta Sakhis come together. They have their 8 kunjas here. Where will they come except this place? They have their 8 kundas also. Behind Lalita Kund, they are all Ashta Sakhis kundas. अष्ट सखी की कृपा चाहिए तो भी राधा कुंड में आना चाहिए. राधा कुंड में जीवन भर भजन करने से हमें यहां कुंज मिलता है, मरने के बाद भी. You see, when we die, according to our bhajan, we go to, if we are qualified to enter Vaikuntha or Ayodhya, Dwarka, Mathura, Braj, we go to whichever planet we are destined to, or any rasa with Krishna, Sakhya rasa, Dasya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Madhu, we can. But to get love just like Radha Rani, Radha Sama Prem, Krishna Kore Dhan, to get love same like Radha Rani, and to get a kunja, the only way is to do bhajan in Radha Kund throughout one's life. Now, throughout word is very significant, because Prabhupada is not saying come here at the end of your life. Saying throughout one's life. Because actually, the qualification to stay in Radha Kund is also granted by staying in Radha Kund. So you can't stay somewhere else and then come to Radha Kund. Throughout one's life. राधा कुंड में रहने की योग्यता भी राधा कुंड ही देती है. ऐसे नाम लेने की योग्यता मिलती है. भूमौ स्खलित पादाना भूमि मेवावलंबनम तस्मै जाता अपराधानाम त्वमेव शरणम. When we fall down while walking on the ground, we take help of the ground to again get up and start walking. Similarly, if we commit aparadh in Radha Kund, then Radha Kund only will forgive it. By taking bath in Radha Kund, everything will be forgiven. चलते चलते गिर जाते हैं तो हम भूमि का सहारा लेके ही उठते हैं, उसी प्रकार राधा कुंड ही हमें राधा कुंड में वास दे सकता है. Especially it is described that to enter the mandal of Radha Rani is not possible without the sidelong glance of Radhika herself. Kada karishyasi hamam kripa kataksha bhajan. If one does not get the sidelong glance of Radhika, then it is impossible to enter into her mandal group. And in fact, the sidelong glance of Radhika is like a permission as well as it is a recognition. So I will tell you one very beautiful secret, that Krishna every day he comes to Radha Kund at 10:48 according to Govind Lilamrit, and he begs for the sidelong glance of Radha Kund. Kada karishyasi mam kripa kataksha bhajanam. That's why Shiva says that one should sing that stotra inside of Radha Kund, because the Radha Kripa Kataksha is the Kripa Kataksha of Radha Kund. राधा रानी का कृपा कटाक्ष है, वही राधा कुंड का कृपा कटाक्ष से ही मिल सकता है. कृष्ण भी राधा कुंड के कृपा कटाक्ष को पहले मांगते हैं, फिर उनको राधा रानी का संग मिलता है. Radha Rani comes a little late, 12 o'clock she comes at Manas Pavan Ghat. Krishna is burning with separation when he comes to Radha Kund. But seeing Radha Kund, Krishna's separation is almost minimized, because looking at Radha Kund is just like looking at Radha Rani. When you will advance further by doing bhajan in Radha Kund, when you will look at Radha Kund, you will see the 25 divine qualities of Radha Rani. When you start seeing them, then you should understand that you are making progress in your bhajan. राधा कुंड की ओर देखने से राधा रानी की 25 गुणों की स्फूर्ति होती है, तब हमारा भजन सफल होता है. राधा कुंड के जल के ज्योति में राधा रानी की नख की ज्योति दिखती है. Seeing the sparkling waters of Radha Kund, the beauty, one can actually see the beautiful effulgence from the toenails of Radhika, from the beautiful effulgence from the ornaments of Radhika, from the dress of Radhika. So Krishnadas Kaviraj, being the greatest scholar of all times, he made the verdict in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radha Madhuri Ache Radha Kunde Madhuri. Radhar Mahima Hoy Kunde Mahima. राधा की जो महिमा है वही कुंड की महिमा है, और राधा की माधुरी है वही कुंड की माधुरी है. सेम, both are the same. The glories of Radha are the glories of Radha Kund, and the beauty of Radha is the beauty of Radha Kund. And we are so fortunate that to see Radha Rani face to face is even an impossible proposition. It is harder than to see Krishna face to face, and to see Krishna face to face is very hard. According to Brahma Samhita, it is said, Koti Muni Pungavanam Sopyasti Yat Prapadasinya Vichintya Tatve Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Oh Govinda, even the Pungavanam, even the most advanced of all sages, they have not even properly seen the light from your toenails. How can they see you face to face? जो ऋषि मुनि जो बहुत आगे बढ़े हुए हैं, वो भी कृष्ण के नख ज्योति को तक भी पहुंच नहीं सकते हैं, तो फिर राधा रानी तक कैसे पहुंचेंगे? बहुत मुश्किल है. Radha Rani is always with her confidential sakhis and manjaris inside the chambers of Jawat in her mother-in-law's house, inside the confidential chambers in Barsana, in her father's house, inside the confidential kunjas in Radha Kund. Here, she's always inside very, very deeply secret places where nobody can see her. How can you see Radha Rani face to face? मुश्किल है. राधा रानी जावट में अंदर अपने गुप्त कमरों में रहती हैं और बरसाने में. और राधा कुंड itself, if you study Govind Lilamrit, you will understand that Radha Kund is a very secluded place in the Nitya Leela. It is Radha Rani's personal lake. राधा रानी का पर्सनल लेक है, ये सरोवर है, बहुत गुप्त है. Nobody can enter here. Even the monkeys and the parrots and the animals who enter here, they have some direct connection with Radha Rani. Then only they can come to Radha Kund. So, how? I am still in disbelief. How I have come to Radha Kund myself, being a very, very fallen worm in the stool. So anyway, surprising that Radha Rani is tolerating us in Radha Kund. Because our bhajan is not able to give happiness to Radha Rani. Unless we are realized our Swarup, we can serve her. But still the bhav and the emotions which arise from the stage of Madhyam Adhikari, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti stage, those kind of bhav do give happiness to Radha Rani to some extent. And Radha Rani, I remember 2 years back, my favorite place is Manas Pavan Ghat, so I was chanting there and I was looking at the waters of Radha Kund. It was around afternoon time and I heard Radha Rani's voice, please come here, come here. And I was very surprised. Though I wanted to come to Radha Kund for many, many years, I was suppressing that because I didn't feel qualified. And after I heard that, then I said, Radha Rani, I will come to Radha Kund, but I will not make a bhajan kutir. Because like, my mood is like to give, always be with devotees and help devotees and bring them to Radha Kund, preaching mood. So I said, if I'll make an ashram for other devotees also to come, because wherever I stay, then devotees also should come and stay. Then there is happiness. Because alone, it's good, but I mean, it's my mood. So, it's a miracle how Radharani arranged. At that time, I had absolutely no money. I would have never imagined to make this ashram 2 years back. But something happened which was not happening for the last 20 years. And suddenly it happened. I went to Mumbai for Katha and suddenly things, I did not even ask anybody, but it came like. So I started crying in Mumbai. I said, Radharani, now I understand. You are Sarva Lakshmi Mahi Kanta Radhika Paradevata. You are the abode of all Lakshmis. And you don't have to ask you. We don't have to ask anybody. When you desire in Radha Kund, it comes. 100% it comes. Anything you desire, you have to be very careful, but what you desire. Because Radha Kund can fulfill anything. It's like Prabhupada used to say, the blade. If you blade is very sharp, you can do a good shave, but you can bleed also. So Radha Kund is the highest place, you can get everything. But it is like Radha Rani is watching all your desires. In Radha Kund, these kunjas are the expansion of Radha Kund. Radha Rani's expansions are the Sakhis. According to the Jaiva Dharma, it is said that the Sakhis are Kaya Vyuhas of Radha Rani. So the Kaya Vyuha expansions of Radha Rani are non-different from Radha Rani. So the kunjas around Radha Kund are non-different from Radha Kund. So whatever you are thinking, whatever you are desiring, Radha Rani is monitoring. Radha Rani is watching. Radha Rani is hearing. Your thoughts are being heard by Radha Rani. You can feel her presence everywhere. In fact, Krishna, in separation from Radha Rani, before Radha Rani comes, Krishna just moves around in the kunjas to further mitigate his separation. हे कुंज आहेत ते कुंज हे पण राधा राणीचेच विस्तार आहेत. स्वयं राधा राणी आहे. तर आपण जे बसलो आहोत हे पण राधा राणीच्या गोदीमध्ये बसलो आहोत. We are sitting also in the lap of Radha Rani. You cannot leave Radha Rani here in Radha. And I don't know about other, means I'm sure that, like we were discussing, everybody who comes here can feel that difference. In fact, I used to feel the difference so much that I purchased a land previously in Malyahari Kund. But when I used to come from that Ramlila Maidan inside and crossing, I used to feel a difference in the vibrations. Even in Malyahari Kund, I used to feel a difference. So I sold it off. Said, if the goal of the injunction given here is to stay on the banks of Radha Kund, so you should stay close to Radha Kund, as much close to Radha Kund as possible. Fourth quotation, Rup Goswami in Updesh Amrit, verse 11. This is a translation of his verse. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love for Krishna is fully aroused. एक बार तुम स्नान केलं, एक बार स्नान किया राधा कुंड में, तो आपका कृष्ण प्रेम पूर्ण रूप से प्रकट हो जाता है. फुल्ली अराउज्ड बाय वन बाथ. ऐसा कोई वरदान है क्या? कोई, I mean, no other place there is this kind of benediction. And what will happen to those fortunate souls who will take bath again and again? And what will happen to those children who will stay in Radha Kund water for 1 hour every day? Krishna, she stays in the water for 1 hour. Can you imagine? Already एक कुंज बन रहा है कृष्णा के लिए. Because Radha Kund does not discriminate between children, grown-up people, elderly people, animals. Raghunath Das Goswami even made those Pashu Ghat. 2 ghats for Radha Kund, 2 ghats for Shyam Kund, for animals. जानवर के लिए भी रघुनाथ दास, क्योंकि राधा कुंड भेदभाव नहीं करता है. राधा कुंड में भैंस भी स्नान करेगी या गाय भी स्नान करेगी, उसको भी राधा जैसा प्रेम मिलेगा. ये चैतन्य चरितामृत ऐसा नहीं बोला राधा कुंडे मानव करे एक बार स्नान, बोला राधा कुंडे जेई करे एक बार स्नान. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is not said that in Radha Kund, if a human being takes bath, then he will get love like Radha Rani. But it is said any soul, from the lowest animal species, that soul comes to the highest Manjari Bhav. Can you imagine? Even an animal is getting prem like Radha Rani, which is actually Manjari's love. I mean, there is no other love like Radha. Even the Sakhi's love is little different from Radha Rani. But that Radha Sama Prem is the prem of the Manjaris. Because the Manjaris have no separate existence other than Radha Rani. Krishnadas Kaviraj explains they are the leaves of the creeper of Radhika. The flowers and the leaves. When Radha feels happy, the Manjaris feel happy. Automatically the happiness goal is in the whole creeper. And the mood which Radha feels, the Manjaris also feel. So all these secret things are granted by Radha Kund. And there is no other place which can, in the whole Braj Mandal, which can give us Radha Sama Prem. Maybe there are two lakes like Prem Sarovar and Man Sarovar. Prem Sarovar was melted of the tears of Radha and Krishna. Prema Vaichitra Lila, it's next to Barsana. And there is one Man Sarovar, that Radha Rani's Man. When she was in Man, her tears became Man Sarovar. But there is one Vilap Kunda here in Govardhan. There are many Kundas. Virha Kunda. So they in the separation. But Radha Kund, Sham Kund, there is no dham, no lakes are equal to Radha Kund, Sham Kund, because this lake has been made personally by the divine hands of Radhika herself. Vishwanath Chakrabarti says, in Goloka there is no Rakshasas, no Asuras. Aristasura doesn't come. So how does Radha Kund, Sham Kund manifest in Goloka? गोलोक में राक्षस नहीं आते हैं, तो गोलोक में राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड कैसे प्रकट होता है? So he gives a nice leela. He gives a leela that Radha and Krishna feel separation from each other and they melt. They melt. Not only tears, their whole body they melt. Radha Rani melts and becomes Radha Kund. Krishna is melting in Goloka, becoming Sham Kund. पिघल जाते हैं, राधा रानी पिघल के राधा कुंड बनती हैं, कृष्ण पिघल के श्याम कुंड गोलोक में. So fully aroused. Fifth quotation is very long, means quite long. I'll just read it. It is stated, this is Prabhupada's commentary to Updeshamrut verse 11. I'll just read it because it is self-explanatory, I think. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis if one takes bath in Radha Kund. Here Prabhupada is not mentioning the name of the Manjaris because Manjari Tattva is very high. So he is just mentioning the name of gopis in general. But Manjaris are actually gopis. What he means is Manjaris, but because Prabhupada wanted to keep the Maryada of the Katha, that's why if one takes a bath in Radha Kund, Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. Taking bath as many times as possible is a compensation if one cannot live on the banks of Radha Kund. At least you get that benefit. This is the most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the lady friends, the Sakhis, and confidential serving maids, the Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. Here Prabhupada mentions the name of the Manjaris. It is the most select place. ये राधा कुंड सबसे योग्य स्थान है जो गोपी भाव प्राप्त करना चाहता है, मंजरी भाव, उसके लिए इससे ऊपर कोई स्थान नहीं. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental abode of God, Goloka Vrindavan. This is the most select place. for those. By means of attaining their spiritual body, Siddhadeya should live at Radha Kund, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in her service. Now Radha Kund राधा कुंड में रह के यहाँ गोपियों का आश्रय लेके हमें भजन करना चाहिए. तो गोपियों का आश्रय कैसे लेंगे? How we will take shelter of the gopis? It is very easy. First we should take shelter of their gopis in their male forms, in the form of the Goswamis. तांदेरो चरणों सेवी भक्त सनिवास जनमे जनमे होए यही अभिलाष. तान सबारो पाद रेणु मोर पंचग्रास. Gauranga Mahaprabhu discovered Radha Kund, but the sixth Goswami revealed the Nitya Leela which is happening in Radha Kund. ये छाई गोसाई जबे ब्रजे कैलावास राधा कृष्ण नित्य लीला कोरिला प्रकाश. Now what happens according to Bhakti Vinod Thakur? One should go to the dham not just for taking bath but to have darshan of the sadhus. Yatha sadhu tatha dham tatha vrindavan. So here in Radha Kund you will get both. Topmost lake and the topmost associates. By going to the Bhajan Kutir of Krishnadas Kaviraj, you are actually having his darshan face to face. And what happens is when Radha Kund is the topmost place, but still it is applicable to Radha Kund, that when the great souls like the six Goswamis, they resided in Radha Kund, in their heart the Nitya Leela is continuously going on. It's like a playground of Radha and Krishna's Leela. And because of that, the Nitya Leela overflooded their hearts. And it actually comes out that Nitya Leela is awakened in the Dham. That's why the Lord sent the Goswamis to awaken, the places in Braj Mandal. ये छाई गोसाई जबे ब्रजे कोइला वास राधा कृष्ण नित्य लीला कोरिला प्रकाश. How did they do prakash? Because they themselves meditated on those leelas of those places, and because of their meditation, the places became even more powerful, even more awakened. 6 गोस्वामी इधर आए और नित्य लीला का स्मरण किया. इसके वजह से राधा कुंड में नित्य लीला का प्रकाश. So, if I start giving commentary, then we can't complete the verse. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Staying in Radha Kund is the most exalted form of devotional service for those who are devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narada and Sanaka do not get an opportunity to come to Radha Kund to take their baths. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? Narada and Sanaka don't get a chance to come and take bath. If by great fortune one gets an opportunity to come to Radha Kund and bathe even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radha Kund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha. In the same way, he contemplated during his life on the banks of Radha Kund. What beautiful purport Prabhupada has written. जिस भाव से उसने राधा कुंड में रह के भजन किया, राधा रानी की सेवा किया, उसी भाव उसको मृत्यु के बाद मिलेगा. Radha Rani. उसको प्रदान करेंगी. It will never go waste. Even spending 1 minute in Radha Kund will not go waste. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of Radha Kund. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of Radha Kund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. So it's an irony that even though we are sadhakas, actually when we stay near the banks of Radha Kund and render devotional service, we are actually acting as siddhas. This is what it means. Because here Prabhupada says, highest perfection of devotional service. Means still they are sadhakas, but still they have attained the highest perfection of devotional service. But it means that indirectly they have become siddhas. राधा कुंड में रहना ही एक सिद्धि है, परम सिद्धि. ये सिद्धि मिलेगी तो हम साधक होंगे या सिद्ध होंगे. तो सबको ये सिद्धि चाहिए. Whether you are sadhaka or you are a siddha, everybody wants the siddhi of staying in Radha Kund. Even those who are already advanced, like Narada and Sanaka, and their realization increases in Radha Kund. In Radha Kundashtakam, it is said even the Sakhis become astonished every time they come to Radha Kund. Unimaginable. Radha Kund is unlimited. Infinite expanding ocean of Radha Prem. Thus there is no limit to the, same thing came, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radha Kund. By serving Radha Kund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. In other places, this opportunity is just a phantasmagoria. It is just a dream, pipe dream. In other places, you cannot, even if you desire, you will not attain. But in Radha Kund, it becomes a fact. It becomes attainable. It becomes accessible. It's like a dwarf is touching the moon. दूसरे सब स्थानों में राधा के सेविका बनना, राधा की दासी बनना, ये तो असंभव है, बहुत मुश्किल. क्योंकि कृष्ण अपनी सेवा दे देते हैं, लेकिन राधा रानी की सेवा नहीं देते. क्योंकि राधा रानी की सेवा देंगे तो फिर कृष्ण को उसकी सेवा करनी पड़ेगी. कृष्ण gives his own service very quickly, but he does not give the service of entering the camp of Radhika very easily. Very, very difficult to attain. Because if someone enters the camp of Radhika, Krishna becomes so much bound to that. Krishna loves the Manjaris so much because of their selfless love. In fact, he begs to Rupa Manjari. He begs to all the Manjaris, when will I get your love for Radha? When will I serve Radha in the way you are serving? So, this is the fifth reason, fact. And the sixth one is the famous verse which everybody of you know from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 18th chapter, 10th verse. Shai kunde jai ek bar kore snan, taro radha sam prem, Krishna kore daan. Shai kunde means that kunda. Jai kore ek bar snan. If you take bath in Radha Kund, you don't even have to ask Krishna. Here it is said Krishna automatically gives you. लव लाइक। आप राधा कुंड में स्नान करेंगे तो आपको कृष्ण को प्रार्थना भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है। एक बार आपने स्नान कर लिया, कृष्ण ने रजिस्टर कर दिया और अपने आप ही कृष्ण आपको प्रेम देंगे। राधा जैसा प्रेम is known as Snan Dan. You just see, we give Snan Dan and Krishna gives Radha Prem Dan to us. We are giving Snan Dan to Radhika, to Radharani. And who we are to give Snan Dan? Our body is fully contaminated. Our body is not even worthy to touch the dust of Radha Kund. What to speak of the water of Radha Kund? हमारा शरीर पापी है, हम राधा कुंड के धूली को भी स्पर्श नहीं कर सकते, पानी को छोड़। बट स्टिल स्नान दान करने से हमको राधा प्रेम दान मिलता है, राधा सम प्रेम दान। राधा प्रेम मीन्स यू कैनॉट गेट राधा प्रेम बट राधा सम प्रेम। This word sama is also important in between, because you cannot compete with Radha. If you start competing with Radha Rani, one is very offensive. But Radha sama prem which is like Radha, Krishna will give. We will take bath in the Jamuna, you get Krishna prem, said in the Vrindavan Mahimamrit and others. If you take bath in Radha Kund, the difference is you get Radha sama prem. And Jamuna is also come here. If you read the Prakatya of Radha Kund, Jamuna also comes in the sky and prays. She also enters into the water here. All the holy places are here. And the last, seventh reason is my favorite verse from Radha Kundashtakam by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Here, I will just give the English translation. May very dear and fragrant Radha Kund, which for one who bathes in it immediately creates in the land of the heart a desired tree of pure love, rare even among the gopi beloveds of Lord Krishna in Vraja, be my only shelter. राधा कुंड में स्नान करने से हमारे हृदय में राधा की सेवा करने की ऐसी तीव्र इच्छा पैदा होती है जिसको देख के राधा रानी की सखियों को भी आश्चर्य होता है. Even the sakhis are surprised. How come this soul has got such a desire? I mean, that kind of desire is awakened by taking bath in Radha Kund. And believe it or not, even if you don't feel it immediately, that desire is coming. If one has faith, one will see it more quickly. Vishwasanusare phala kare na pradhan. Radha Kund is antaryami. So according to our faith, one who has faith that taking bath in Radha Kund, I will get Radha's equal love, that soul will surely get within one bath. But if we don't have the faith, then what to do? Then also the medicine is to take bath repeatedly and hear the glories of Radha Kund. अगर एक बार स्नान किया श्रद्धा से तो हमें सब कुछ मिलेगा, लेकिन अगर एक बार स्नान करने से सब कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है तो क्या करना चाहिए? बार बार स्नान करने से वो श्रद्धा मिलती है और फिर वो श्रद्धा मिलेगी, फिर हम स्नान करेंगे तो प्रेम मिल जाएगा. So, thank you very much. I think I cannot say more than this things. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. With what bhav? Anybody who takes bath in Manas Pavan Ghat, when Radharani comes, she puts her dress on the pilu tree and she is laughing and joking with the Sakhis, and that Leela is described in Govind Lilamrit. And then her ankle bells are ringing, and slowly she goes down the steps of Manas Pavan Ghat, and she enters the Manas Pavan Ghat with the Sakhis. And because Sham Kund's water is blackish in complexion, when Radharani enters into the water, she feels Krishna is embracing me. I mean, she is very happy in the Sham Kund waters, and when she enters into the waters, she becomes even more happy. She starts laughing and joking and being very pleased. She is very pleased to be in Sham Kund. So when you take bath in Sham Kund, Manas Pavan Ghat, tell Radharani that please make me one of your Mandala Praveshanam, Radha Mandala Praveshanam. That is the ultimate prayer. Let me see this Leela once. Idam te Vapurnatha Gopala Balam Sadame Manasya Avirastam Kimanye. Means to see that Leela in the heart itself is the greatest. कि ये मानस पावन घाट में स्नान में यही वरदान मांगना चाहिए कि मुझे ये लीला का साक्षात दर्शन हो एक दिन, और उसके बाद मैं भी ये लीला में सम्मिलित हो सकूं, हो राधिका आपकी पाल्य दासी के रूप में. यही प्रार्थना. Let me see this Leela one day in my heart, and let me participate in this Leela as one of your confidants. Any other question? तुमचं काय होतं प्रश्न? नाही, हात वरती केला म्हणून. Mata, this question is, when will be the next class? Tomorrow. Yeah. आपको प्रेम मिल गया लेकिन आप देख नहीं पा रहे, समझ नहीं पा रहे. उसको समझेंगे धीरे धीरे, बाय टेकिंग मोर एंड मोर बात, increasing your faith in Radha Kund, and hearing the glories, like you said, taking shelter of the Goswamis. By only their mercy we can realize our good fortune. Even though we get the prem, but we are not, if we are not recipients, I mean, we are not able to understand what we are getting. By taking bath in Radha Kund, we can only understand by the mercy of the six Goswamis. That's why in Radha Kund Babaji's, they have written one book in Bengali. Maybe I'll give some katha on that. The Charit of the six Goswamis. Very sweet book. It's from different Chaitanya Charitamrit, Chaitanya, different Bhaktiratna, on the six Goswamis' Leelas. So meditating, hearing their Leela, one will, because the Goswamis are they who never leave Radha Kund. Even when Radha and Krishna leaves Radha Kund, the Manjaris, they stay here, they clean Radha Kund for the next day's Leela. They prepare Radha Kund whole night. They clean Anang Manjari's Kunja in the water. They are cleaning, they remove the flower, they remove the necklaces and all the things which have fallen in Radha Kund. Manjaris, they do all this, they clean all the 8 kunjas. Because Radha and Krishna's Leela here is very wild, very amorous, and everything is scattered here and there when they leave. तो मंजरियाँ यहाँ ही रहती हैं राधा कुंड में, और राधा कुंड की सेवा करती हैं, वो साफ करती हैं. राधा कुंड में झाड़ू लगाना भी बड़ा सौभाग्य है. मतलब आप डायरेक्ट कुंज को ही साफ कर रहे हैं. तो इसीलिए जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी कहते थे कि वो कुत्ते मुझे ज़्यादा प्रिय हैं क्योंकि उनको धूल उनके ऊपर उड़ती है. So brooming Radha Kund is a very great seva. Cleaning Radha Kund, even one of the ghats Because one particle in that ghat is, even 1/6 of that particle has more power and more beauty and more opulence than Vraj Mandal, than Ras Mandal, Govardhan and Janma, Gokul combined. 1/6 of the power of one particle on the banks of Radha Kund is still not equal. It's more. In Vraj Vilastav, Raghunath Das Goswami says this while describing Radha Kund. So, especially ghee lamp. If you offer ghee lamp to Radha Kund, you should offer in the same way 4, 2, 3 and 7. We offer to the deities. You should offer the ghee lamp in the same way to Radha Kund. 4, 2, 3 और 7. उनका मुख है वो संगम की तरफ है. Radha Kund's top part is towards the Sangam. Radha Kund's feet are towards Janva Mata's Baitak in the northern side. Because the Govardhan Shila in the Sangam, the Yoga Peeth, that is Giri Govardhan's nose. Jai Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. That's why they don't allow you to put too much water there. They bathe it once, but if you because you can't put too much water in the nose. And nose is always between the two eyes. Radha Kund, Sham Kund are the eyes of Govardhan. So Govardhan has become actually so great because of Radha Kund, Sham Kund. Very few devotees know that. They just do parikrama and they don't even, while walking they do fast, like they don't even enter and take the achman or something. But actually the real parikrama, you can begin from Manasi Ganga, or if you are real Gaudiyas, if you have real attachment to Radha Kund, you should begin the parikrama from the Sangam. That is a yoga peeth. Take achman, take the sankalp and come out, and then when you come back, again go back to the Sangam and because the Sakshi, the face of Govardhan. And because Govardhan goes inside the ground and comes up like this, so his face is ulta. His head is south, his cheek is north. That's why the jiva, the tongue, Raghunath Das Goswami didn't keep on in the southern side, but he kept it on the northern side because the face is like this. When the face is like this, eyes are here, nose is here, and the mouth is this side. Not the face is not this like this; it is this way. Govardhan ki jeeb hai, kaan hai, naak hai. I was wondering, you may believe it or not, it's up to you. But I was wondering that near the eyes, we have the cheeks. And then I was wondering, I came to know that the Purana Radha Krishna Mandir on the top, there are hills in Radha Kund. They are actually the cheeks of Govardhan. Cheeks are having raised. So, one Panda started beating me when I said that. Who told you this? I said it's whether it's my realization, whether you. Even that side, beyond Sham Kund, there is one well, and there was some hillocks previously, I asked. तो ये जो गाल है गोवर्धन के, वो पर्वत है जहाँ पुराना राधा कृष्ण मंदिर है. इधर राधा कुंड में पर्वत है. ये कृष्ण लोक प्रभु का घर पर्वत के ऊपर लुका का है. इट्स लाइक Radha Kund Ashtakam is even more powerful than Radha Kripa Kataksha. Because Kripa Kataksh was written by Shiva being in Shantarasa. Shiva can maximum enter Radha Kund in Shantarasa. But Kundashtakam is written by Manjari Raghunath Das Goswami, who is the caretaker of Radha Kund, who is the maintainer of Radha Kund. In the water, if you chant, even if you chant sitting on the banks, and if Radha Kund is hearing your prayers, singing, whenever I go, I chant the Kundashtakam ka tatati surabhi Radha Kundam eva shrayo me. Even if Radha Kund hears your voice, that is it. So it's very late. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Prasadam is there for everybody. हाँ तो जल्द 15 minutes बाकी है. ठीक है, हम will send you.